Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to look at replacing the cabin air filter for our BMW. This is a 2014 BMW 320. So it's an F30 model. And we're looking at replacing the cabin air filter. So this is what you need to replace. It's underneath the dash in this model. And so you're gonna have to take out a few screws and that sort of thing. And they say that if you don't replace this often, you actually can get sick, you can get headaches, because it gets a bunch of things into the filter. And the last thing you wanna do is not have clean air coming into your car. So we're gonna look at replacing this and we'll walk you along the path to do that. And so here we go. The first step is to remove this kind of plastic cover. There's two 10mm bolts that have to come out, and so we're going to take those two out and we'll show you that right now. So there's one here and there's another one right here on this side. So that's step one. There's that one. So after you do that, you're gonna have to just carefully pull down on this. You're gonna carefully pull down and just kind of work it loose and get this plastic piece all down from here. So that's what we're gonna do right now, is just kind of work that loose a little bit and just gently pull it down, because it's got little clamps in there that hold it in place. So you want to get those things out very gently. And then there's a couple different little wires we're just going to disconnect here. So the first one is the cigarette lighter. So we're going to disconnect this one right here. Just remember that goes there. And then we're going to work to select this other piece down here, pull that out. And then the second one here, we're going to disconnect this as well. So just disconnect that so we can actually pull this piece out. There we go. And now this piece can get removed and set aside. And then there's these two bolts that have to come out too. There's one over here and there's one here. Those got to come out, and then the filter's underneath this. Okay, so once you do that, you're going to push this in, and this is going to actually release it so you can actually pull down. Once you pull down, you'll get the air filter out by you'll see it's in there right there, underneath there. We're going to get this pulled out and we'll show you how dirty it is. Okay, so I worked the air filter out and you can see that this is definitely dirty. You can see in between there all the grime and that sort of thing. And you can see it's naturally bent. That's how it goes in. It's kind of naturally bent like that. And you obviously want to check and make sure yours is about the same, right? So you can see that ours, if we bend it into shape, is about the same. And so we're gonna push this one back in there, and you kind of gotta work it a little bit to get it up in there. So it's obviously it's bent at kind of this angle. So we're gonna do that right now. So if you notice the old versus the new, if you look really closely, it says an airflow with a little arrow. So clearly we want to make sure ours is bent the same way, and with the airflow and the arrow. So we're gonna make sure we put it in the exact same way that we took this one out. Okay, so you're gonna have to like angle it and make sure it gets in there correctly. And again, make sure that when you pull the old one out, you look at how it's bent. And once you look at how it's bent, you see how the airflow goes. Airflow arrow. Make sure your airflow arrow matches. So you're gonna have to stick your head under there and look and go, yep, airflow arrow matches. And then we're gonna start re-putting the stuff back together. So we're gonna start by putting this piece in and putting this two screws back in. Okay, so when you push that all back up there, there's like two little pieces that you wanna kind of snap in. When you hear it snap in, you know you're good. And then you just have to put your two screws back in, and you should be able to do that really quickly, and that piece will be done. Okay, now we're gonna go back in reverse order, and we're gonna reconnect our little pieces here. So we're gonna reconnect this first one, which should just pop right in. And then we're gonna reconnect our second one here for our cigarette lighter. And then we're gonna have to just push this back up in here and then connect the cables. Or I'm sorry, put the bolts back on. So we're gonna do that. It's going to take a little bit of patience to get it in there, right? So you're gonna have to work it a little bit to get the clips in the right spot again, and to kind of get those things put back in where they need to go. And then the last step is really to put your 2 nuts back on. And so I'm just hand tightening the 2 nuts, and then you're gonna use your 10mm again, just to tighten it all the way. But that's the last step here. And just make sure you're careful. You know, there's a floor airbag here, so you wanna make sure you're not hitting that or doing anything crazy with that. And then there is, if you don't know, there's a cigarette lighter. That's where the wire that you put on was going to the cigarette lighter here. The other one's going to a little light underneath here. So those are the 2 wires you're connecting. So you want to check that after you get done, that those 2 things both work again. Okay, so that's how we replace a cabin air filter for an F30 model, which this one happens to be a 2014 320 BMW. And you can see, not only does it have a bunch of grime in it and that sort of thing from your air filter, it also has a little bit of blackness to it, so I don't know what that is, but so definitely needs to be done. Very easy to do. Just make sure you're careful. There's 2 bolts you have to take out. There's 2 screws and 2 wires you have to disconnect. And then when you're done, you just want to go back through, and you want to make sure that when you turn the car on, you want to make sure the little light that's on your feet of your passenger is going to go on. You want to make sure that goes on. And we don't really care much about the cigarette lighter, but if you want to, you can check that cigarette lighter out too. Plug something into it, make sure it works as well. Just takes a little bit of patience to get it done, and you can buy this on Amazon. So we'll put a link in the description below for this. You can buy this on Amazon. You know, they run anywhere between $20 and $40 depending on which model or what brand you get. This is one that came really well recommended online. So this is just a Spearhead Breathe Easy filter. Make sure it fits, and these should be good up to 15,000 miles. So that's it. That's how you replace a cabin air filter. They'll charge you a lot more if you do it at a dealership, or, you know, when you're getting your oil changed or whatever. So this is something you're easily capable of doing, and you can keep track of it. So now we can write down that we change at whatever miles it is, and you're not going to go in and go, when's the last time I had that done? Can't really remember. I guess just do it, right? Because it'll cost you a lot more to have done there. So that's it. Subscribe to our channel. We'll put a link in the description below for the one that we got, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.